Heck yeah. Alright, thank you everyone for coming out. We're gonna start this first presentation for the evening. I'm really excited. There's some awesome musicians gonna play later tonight, but we're gonna start things off with The Fall of the City. The Fall of the City is a radio play from 1930. And our ensemble cast, which I have here today, I got Nick over here, I got Frog, I got Mike, Kenji, and myself, Philip.
Yeah.
And so we will take you to the Fall of the City. Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast comes to you from the city. Listeners over the curving air have heard from furthest off frontiers of foreign hours, mountain time, ocean time, of the islands, of waters after the islands, some of them waking, where noon here is the night there, some where noon is the first few stars they see or the last one. For 3 days the world has watched this city, not for the common occasions of brutal crime or the usual violence of one sort or another, or coronations of kings or popular festivals. No, for stranger and disturbing reasons. The resurrection from death and the tomb of a dead woman. Each day for 3 days there has come to the door of her tomb at noon a woman buried. The terror that stands at the shoulder of our time touches the check with this. The flesh winces. There have been other omens in other cities, but never of this sort and never so credible. And a time like ours, seeming and portents signify. Ours is a generation when dogs howl and the skin crawls on the skull with its beast's foreboding. All men now alive with us have feared. We have smelled the wind in the street that changes weather. We have seen the familiar room grow unfamiliar. The order of numbers alter. The expectation cheats the expectant eye. The appearance defaults with us. Here in this city the wall of the time cracks. We take you now to the great square of the city.
We are here on the central plaza. We are well off to the eastern edge. There is a kind of terrace of the crowd here. It is precisely 4 minutes to 12. The crowd is enormous. There might be 10,000. There might be more. The whole square is spaces. Opposite of the roofs are mountains. It is quite clear there are birds circling. We think they are kites by the look. They're very high. The tomb is off to the right somewhere. We can't see for the great crowd. Close to us are the cabinet ministers. They stand on a raised platform with awnings. The farmers' wives are squatting on the stones. Their children have fallen asleep on their shoulders. The heat is harsh. The light dazzles like metal. It dazes the air as the clang of a gong does. News travels in this nation. There are people here from away off. Horse raisers out of the country with brooks in it. Herders of cattle from up there where the snow stays, the kind that cook for themselves mostly. They look at the girls with their eyes hard, and a hard grin, and with their teeth showing. It is 1 minute to 12 now. There is still no sign. They are still waiting. No one doubts that she will come. No one doubts that she will speak too. 3 times she hath not spoken. Now it is 12. Now they are rising. Now the whole plaza is rising. Fathers are lifting up their small children. The plumed fans on the platform are motionless. There is no sound but the snuffle of shoe leather. None. Even the shoes are still. We can hear the hops. It is quiet as that now. It is strange to see such throngs so silent. Nothing yet. Nothing has happened. Wait! There's a stir here to the right of us. They're turning their heads. The crowd turns. The cabinet ministers lean from the balcony. There's no sound, only the turning.
First, water rose with no wind.
Listen to that. That is she. She's speaking.
Then the stones of the temple kindled without flame were tender maize leaves.
See her beyond us? The crowd sees her.
Then there were cries in the night haze, words in a once heard tone, the air rustling above us as the dawn prepares. Now it is I who must bring fear. I am 4 days dead, the tears still unushed for me, all of them, I for whom a child still calls at nightfall. Death is young in me to fear. My dress is kept still in the press in my bedchamber. No one has broken the dish of the dead woman. Nevertheless, I must speak painfully. I am to stand here in the sun and speak. The city of masterless men will take a master. There will be shouting then, blood after. Do not ask what it means, I do not know. Only sorrow and no hopes for it.
She is gone. No, they are still looking.
It is hard to return from the time past. I've come in the dream. We must learn to dream. We're crumbling of time, like the ash from a burning stream, has stopped for me. For you, the thread still burns. You take the feathery ash upon your fingers. You bring yourselves from time past as it pleases you. It is hard to return to the old news. Harder to go again.
She is gone. We know because the crowd is closing. All we can see is the crowd closing. We hear the releasing of held breath, the weight shifting, the lifting of shoe leather. The stillness is broken as the surface of water is broken. The sound circling from in outward. Small wonder they feel fear before the murders of famous kings. Before the imperial cities burned and fell, the dead were said to show themselves and speak. When dead men came, disaster came. Presentiments that let the living on their beds sleep on, woke dead men out of death and gave them voices. All ancient men in every nation know this.
Masterless men! When shall it be?
Masterless men!
We'll take a master! What has she said to us?
When shall it be?
Masterless men will take a master. Blood after. What has she said to us?
Blood after.
Blood after.
They are milling around us like cattle that smell death. The whole square is whirling and turning and shouting. One of the ministers raises his arms on the platform. No one is listening. Now they are sounding drums, trying to quiet them lightly. No, something is happening. There in the far corner, a runner, a messenger staggering. People are helping him. People are calling. He comes through the crowd. They are quieter. Only those on the far edge are still shouting. Listen, he's here by the ministers now. He is speaking.
There has come the conqueror. I am to tell you. I have read over sea land. I have run over cane land. I have climbed over cold land. It was laid on my shoulders by Shal and by Shal, that standing by day and staying by night, were not for my lot, till I came to the sight of you. Now I have come. Be warned of this conqueror. This one is dangerous. Word has outboard him. East over sea cross has all taken every country. No man are free there. Ears overhear them. Their words are their murders. Judged before judgment. Trial after trial. They died to do animals. Offer their throats as the goat to her slaughter. Terror has taught them this. Now he is here. He was violent in his vessel. He is steered in her storm. He was watching in her waist. He was peering in her prow. And he dragged her up 9 lengths, till her keel lodged on this nation. Now he is here, waylaying and night lying. If they hide before dark, he comes before sunup. Where hunger is eaten, there he sits down. Where fear sleeps, there he arises. I tell you, beware of him. All doors are danger. The warders of wealth will admit him by stealth. The lovers of men will invite him as friends. The drinkers of blood will drum him in suddenly. Hope will unlatch him. Hopelessness open. I say, and say truly, to all men in honesty, such is the conqueror. Shame is his people, black liquors of spittles. Their lives are unspeakable, for dying in decency. Be well warned. He comes to you slightly, slanting and sprinting, hinting and shadowing. Sly is his hiding, a hard lot, a late rider. Watch, I have said to you.
They are leading him out. His legs give. Now he is gone in the crowd. They are silent. No one has spoken since his speaking. They stand still, circling the ministers. No one has spoken or called out. There is no stir at all, no movement. Even the farthest have stood patiently. They wait, trusting the old men. They wait faithfully, trusting the answer. Now the huddle on the platform opens. A minister turns to them, raising his 2 arms.
Free men of this nation, the persuasion of your wills against your wisdom is not dreamed of. We offer themes for your consideration. What is the surest defender of liberty? Is it not liberty? A free people resists by freedom, not locks, not blockhouses. The future is a mirror where the past marches to meet itself, go armed toward arms, peaceful toward peace, free with the music toward freedom. Face tomorrow with knives, and tomorrow's a knife blade. Murder your foe, and your foe will be murdered. Even your friends suspected of false speaking, hands on the door at night and the floorboards squeaking. Those who win by the spear are spear toters, and what do they win? Spears. What else is there? If their hands let go, they have nothing to hold by. There are no more free than a paralytic propped against a tree is. With the armored man, the arm is upheld by the weapon, the man is worn by the knife. Once depend on iron for your freedom, and your freedom's iron. Once overcome your resistors with force, and your force will resist you. You will never be free of force, never of arms unarmed. Will the father return home? The lover to her loved, the mature man to his fruit orchard, walking at peace in that beauty. The years of his trees to assure him. Force is a greater enemy than this conqueror, a treacherous weapon. Nevertheless, my friends, there is a weapon. Weakness conquers. Against chainlessness, who breaks? Against lawlessness, who vaults? Against forcelessness, who forces? Against the feather of the thistle is bluntest, sharpest metal, no edge cuts seed fluff. This conqueror unresisted will conquer no longer. A posture beating his blows upon burdocks, shifting his guard against the shadows. Snickers will sound among road menders. Titters will be stifled by laundresses. Coarse guffaws among chambermaids. Reddened with rage, he will roar. He will sweat in his uniform foolishly. He will disappear. No one will hear him. There is a weapon, my friend. Scorn conquers.
I wish you could all see this as we do. The whole plaza full of these people. Their colorful garments, the harsh sunlight, the water sellers swinging enormous gourds, the orator there on the stone platform, the temple behind him, the high pyramid, the hawks overhead in the sky teetering, slow to the windward, swift to the downwind. The houses blind with the blank sun upon them.
There is a weapon. Reason and truth are that weapon. Let this conqueror come. Show him no hindrance. Suffer his flag and his drum. Words win.
There's the shout now. He's done. He's climbing down, a great speech. They're all smiling and pressing about him. The women are squatting in full sunlight. They're opening packages. Bread, we'd say by the look. Yes, bread. Bread wrapped between corn leaves. They're squatting to eat. They're quite contented and happy. Women are calling their men from the sunny stones. There are flutes sounding away off. Flutes. We can't see for the shifting and moving. Yes, there are flutes in the cool shadows. Children are dancing in intricate figures. Even a few old men are dancing. You'd say they'd never feared to see them dancing. A great speech. Really great. Men forget these truths in passion. They oppose the oppressors with blind blows. They make of their towns tombs, of their roofs burials. They build memorial ruins to liberty, but liberty is not built from ruins. Only in peace is the work excellent. Oh, that's odd. The music has stopped. There's something. It's a man there on the far side. He's pointing. He seems to be pointing back to the farthest street. The people are twisting and rising, bread in their fists. We can't see what it is. Wait, it's a messenger. It must be a messenger. Yes, it's a message, another. Here he is at the turn of the street, trotting. His neck's back at the nape. He looks tired. He winds to the crowd with his mouth open, laboring. People are offering water. He pushes away from them. Now he's come to the stone steps, to the ministers. Stand by. We're edging in. Listen, he's leaning on the stone. He's speaking.
There has come the conqueror. I am to tell you, I have run over cornland. I have climbed over coneland. I have crossed over mountains. It was laid on my shoulders by shelters by shant. That standing by day and staying by night were not for my lot, till I came to the sight of you. Now I have come, I bear word, beware of the conqueror. The fame of his story, like flame in the winter grass, widens before him. Beached at our shore, with the dawn over shoulder, the lawns were still cold. He came to the sheep meadow, sun could not keep with him, so he was forward. Fame is his sword, no man opposing him still grows his glory. He needs neither foeman nor thick set or blows to gather his victories, nor close match to earn in his battles. He brings his own enemy. He baggages with him his closet antagonist, his private oppressor. He's setting him up. Every road corner, a figure of horror with blood for his color, fist for his hand, reek where he stands, hate for his heat, sneers for his mouth, clouts for his clothes, oaths if he speaks, and he's knocking him down in every town square, till hairs on his blade and blood's all about, like dust in a drop, and the people shouting, flowers him flinging, music him singing, and bringing him gold, and holding his heels, and feeling his thighs, till their eyes start and their hearts swell, and they're telling his praises, like lays of the heroes and chiefs of antiquity. Such are his victories, so does he come, so he approaches. No man to conquer, yet as a conqueror marches he forward, stands in his mountains, soon to descend on you.
I've touched them. I've frightened them. Some of them point to the east hills. Some of them mock at the ministers. Freedom? Freedom for what? To die in a rat trap. They're frantic with anger and plain fear. They're sold out, they say. You can hear them. Down with the government. Down with the orators. Down with the liberal learned minds. Down with the mouths and the loose tongues in them. Down with the lazy lot. They've sold us. We've sold out. Talking has done for us. They're boiling around like mullet that smells shark. You can't move in the mob. They're crazy with terror.
God lovers,
Think of your gods, earth masters,
taste your disasters.
men.
Remember,
There's a voice over the crowd somewhere. I hear it. They're quieting down. It's the priests. We see them now. It's the priests on the floor. There might be 10 of them, black with their hair tangled. The smoke of their fires flat in the quick wind. They stand in the thick of the smoke and stare at the victims. Their knives catch in the steep sun. They are shouting, listen!
Turn to your God's rememberers. Let the world be saved by surrendering the world. Not otherwise shall it be saved.
Turn to your God, rememberers.
Let evil be overcome. Over. Your
Turn
hearts.
To your God, remembers.
Turn to your gods. The conqueror cannot take you. Turn to your gods. The narrow dark will keep you. Turn to your gods. In God's house, in no breaking. Turn to your gods. In God's silence sleep is. Lay up your will with the gods. Stones will not still you. Lay up your mind with the gods. Blade cannot blind you. Lay up your heart with the gods. Danger departs from you.
It's a wonderful thing to see the crowd responding. Even the simplest citizens feel the emotion. There's hardly a sound now in the square. It's wonderful, really impressive. The priests there on the pyramid, the smoke blowing the bright sun in the faces.
In the day of confusion of reason, when all is delusion, in the day of the tyrants of tongues, when the truth is for hire, in the day of deceit, when ends meet, turn to your gods. In the day of division of nations, when hope is derision, in the day of the supping of hate, when the soul is corrupted, in the day of despair, when the heart's bare, turn to your gods.
A kind of dance is beginning, a serpent of people, a current of people coiling and curling through people, a circling of people through people, like water through water.
Out of the stir of the sun, out of the shout of the thunder, out of the hush of the star, withdraw the heart.
A very young girl is leading out. They have torn the shawl from her bare breast. They are giving her flowers. Her mouth laughs. Her eyes are not laughing.
Leave now the lovely air to the sword and the sword wearer. Leave to the marksman the mark. Withdraw the heart.
She's coming. The drums pound. The crowd shrieks. She's reaching the temple. She's climbing it. Others are following. 5, 10, hundreds. Hundreds are following. Crowding the stairway. She's almost there. The flowers have fallen. She looks back. The priests are surrounding her. Wait, something has happened. One of the ministers, one of the oldest, the general, the one in the feathered coat, he's driving them down with the staff of a banner. He's climbed after them, driving them down. They're shouting and yelling enough, but they're going. He's turning them off too, you can hear him.
Men, old men, listen. Twist your necks on your nape bones, the knife will wait in the fist for you. There is a time for everything. Time to be thinking of heaven, time of your own skins. Cock your eyes to the windward. Do you see smoke on those mountains? The smoke is the smoke of towns, and who makes it? The conqueror. And where will he march now? Onward. The heel of the future descends on you.
He has them now. Even the priests have seen it. They're all looking away here to the east. There's smoke too, filling the valleys like thunderheads.
You are foolish old men. You ought to be flogged for your foolishness. Your grandfathers died to be free, and you juggle with freedom? Do you think you're free by a law like the falling of apples in autumn? You thought you were safe in your liberties. You thought you could always quibble. You can't. You take my word for it. Freedom's the rarest bird. You risk your neck to snare it. It's gone while your eyeballs stare. Those who lodge with a tyrant thinking to feed at his fire and leave him again when they're fed are plain fools or were bred to it. Brood of the several races, born with the hangdog face.
They're all pointing and pushing together. The one in the shouldering muskets bred children. They smell smoke in the air. They smell terror.
There's nothing in this world worse, empty belly or purse, or the pitiful hunger of children, than doing the strong man's will. The free will fight for their freedom, they're free men first. They feed meager or fat, but as free men. Everything else comes after. Food, roof, craft, even the sky and the light of it.
The sun is yellow with smoke. The town's burning. The war's at the broken bridge.
Are you free? Will you fight? There are still inches for fighting. There's still a niche in the streets. You can stand on the stairs and meet him. You can hold in the dark of a hall. You can die, or your children will crawl for it.
They won't listen. They're shouting and screaming and circling. The square is full of deserters with more coming. Every street from the bridge is full of deserters. They're rolling in with the smoke, blowing behind them. The plaza's choked with smoke and the struggling of stragglers. They're climbing the platform, driving the ministers, shouting. One speaks, and another.
The city is doomed! There's no holding it! Let the conquerors have it, it's his! The age is his, it's his century, our institutions are obsolete. He marches a mile while we sit in a meeting, opinions and talk, deliberate walks beneath the ivy and the creepers. The age demands a made-up mind. The conqueror's mind is decided on everything. His doubt comes after the deed or never. He knows what he wants for his wants, what he knows. He's gone before they say he's gone. He's come before you barred your house. He's one man, we are but thousands. Who can defend us from one man? Bare your arms, break your standards. Give him the town while the town stands.
They're throwing their arms away. Their bows are on bonfires. The plaza is littered with torn plumes, spear handles.
Masterless men! Masterless men must take a master. Order must master us. Freedom's for fools. Force is the certainty. Freedom has eaten our strength and corrupted our virtues. Men must be ruled. Fools must be mastered. Rigor and fast will restore us our dignity. Chains will be liberty.
The last defenders are coming. They whirl from the streets like wild leaves on a wind. The square scatters them. Now they are fewer, 10 together or 5. They come with their heads turned, their eyes back. Now there are none. The street's empty, in shadow. The crowd is retreating, watching the empty street. The shouts die. The voices are silent. They're watching. They stand in the slant of sunlight, silent and watching. The silence after the drum echoes the drum beat. Now there's a sound. They see him. They must see him. They're shading their eyes from the sun. There's a rustle of whispering. We can't see for the glare of it. Yes, he's there at the end of the street in the shadow. We see him. He looks huge, a head taller than anyone. Broad as a brass door, a hard hero monster, heavy of heel and brick, clanking with metal. The helm closed on his head, the eye holes hollow. He's coming. He's clear of the shadow. The sun takes him. They cover their faces with their fingers. They cower before him. They fall. They sprawl on the stone. He's alone where he's walking. He marches with a rattle of metal. He tramples his shadow. He tramples his shadow. He mounts by the pyramid, stamps on the stairway, turns. His arm rises. His visor is opening. There's no one. There's no one inside at all. There's no one. The helmet is hollow. The metal is empty. The armor is empty. I tell you, there's no one in there at all. There's only the metal, the barrel of metal, the bundle of armor. It's empty. The push of a stiff pole with a nipple would topple it. But I don't see. They lie on the paving. They lie on the bird steers. The ashes barrels, they lie there. They don't see or they won't see. They're silent. The people invent their oppressors. They wish to believe in them. They wish to be free of their freedom, released from their liberty. The long labor of liberty ended. They lie there. city is falling. The city is falling.
I think we got Nick, we got Frog, we got Kinsey, and we got Mike, and we got Philip. That was The Fall of the City by Archibald MacLeish from the 1930s. Up next, we're gonna have some awesome sounds from Monet Zonder and Milk, gonna melt some brains.